At least we can get a good start. So maybe as we go on, I'll go back over some of the inyanim that we said, but I just want to go over this Gemara again in Sukkah. Remember this, that this is a yisod that we said over a number of times, that the Shekhinah, by definition, is in this world. To think that the Shekhinah is in Shemayim is an oxymoron. Shekhinah means, it would be like saying, you're my Shachin who lives in India. You're not my Shachin if you live in India. So if the presence of Hashem is in this world, and it rests on a Beis HaMikdash, on a Beis HaKnesses, on a Tzaddik, on a Bayis, on a Ish V'Isha, all the different places we say that the Shekhinah is Shoroi. So they're all in this world. When we leave this world, presumably, I don't know exactly where the GPS location is of the next world, but that's not about the Shekhinah. It might be something else there. It might be Kisei HaKavod, Gan Eden. Thank you so much. I don't, we don't. That's a different sugya, which we'll probably never know until we get there at Neva Esrim. But in terms of Shekhinah, which is important for us to know because it's a passing of the Torah. I want to bring the Shekhinah here. So if Hashem wants, this is the whole Torah. I want to bring the Shekhinah into this world. So Shekhinah per force is in this world. That's an important yesod that we saw. There's no Shekhinah by Malachim. There's Shekhinah by Bas B'nai Adam. So now the Gemara says, we started learning this Gemara. The Gemara in the beginning of Sukkah, Tafhei. Tanya Rabbi Yossi Omer. Let's do it again. Mi olam lo yarda shchina lamata me'asarav le'olam Moshe ve'Eliyahu la'morim shenemar shamayim la'Hashem va'aretz nosan livnei adam. That we'll learn the Gemara, then we'll try to explain it. Rabbi Yossi pointed out that the Shechina never came lamata me'asara. Now, obviously, this is not talking about in space, because it's not a. What does that mean? It means that if you take a 747 flight, transatlantic, you're going into the Shekhinah. That's the Shemayim. Obviously, it's a concept or a state.
This is not a physical thing.
Not a physical thing. So, yet it's measured in Amos and Tvachim, which is an interesting pella unto itself. But me'olam layar the Shechina lamata me'asara, the Shechina never came down lower than Asara. V'le'olam Moshe ve'Eliyahu la'morim, and Moshe and Eliyahu never came la'morim to the Shemayim. And the pasuk for this is the famous pasuk in Tilim Kuftes Zabav, Hashemayim Shemayim la'Hashem ve'ha'aretz nasan livnei Adam. There's a divide here, the great divide between Hashemayim la'Hashem, Ha'aretz nasan livnei Adam. There's a possibility, we'll learn in a minute, of Hashem coming into this world, but apparently La Yarda, from here we learned that La Yarda Shechina L'Yisrael. Lamata Me'asar. And the Gemara says at the same time, we never went up. Years and years ago, I don't have the book, but in the Sonsino Talmud, in the pre-Art Scroll days, I remember learning this Gemara, so there was a footnote there. You can take a look if you have. There was a footnote there that sort of dazzled me from a bunch of scholars that said that what Rabbi Yossi was talking about was it was a polemic against Christianity. There's no such messias of flying up to the Shemayim and coming in God walking on this earth, like this Rabbi Yossi was commenting on the whole Christian concept as these two ideas, and I don't remember. That's what I remember of the Sonsino comment, which it's not mistavra, but the Omek Hadover is that we're not talking Gashmias here. If we're talking Gashmias, so then it's not just. There's Rabbi Yossi. There's Lamala. There's Lamata. But The Makshimim, meaning which are the Christians, that they gave physicality to God. So this idea of God walking the face of this earth. So the Rabbi Yossi, this is not something which is philosophically tenable. It's not possible. But here he's saying in halacha, whether that's true or not. I mean, it is true, but whether that's the pshat in the Gemara or not is let's hold on to that for a minute. It's a note. So far we say the pasuk is Hashamayim. David HaMelech said Hashamayim Shamayim LaHashem VeHaOretz Nasan Livnei Adam. Frek the Gemara Layard the Shechina Lamata. Is this true? That the Shechina never came Lamata. Vaksiv Vayered Hashem al Har Sinai. The diuk is Vayered Hashem. Vayered Hashem. Har Sinai is a mountain, like every other mountain, not even a particularly high mountain. And Vayered Hashem. So it says Mefurish Vayered Hashem. So the Gemara says, Lamala me'asar tzfachim. Yes, Hashem descended, or the Shekhinah descended, but it was Lamala me'asar tzfachim. It didn't reach this asar tzfachim. V'aksiv, doesn't it say in Zechariah and Nevuah that when Mashiach comes, ve'amdu raglov b'yomahu al har zeisim, that the raglei Hashchina presumably will stand on har hazeisim. Remember, we learned that if anybody goes Bekoma Zakufa, so Doichek Ragle Hashchina, so that's Zakufa the Shchina, so the Shchina Tato, we learned Shchina Ilah, we'll get back to that, but here it says, V'amdu Raglov B'yomahu al har zeisim, how clear can you get? So the Gemara says al har zeisim, but it was Lamala me'asar tzfachim. It was a hovering type of an idea. V'layala Moshe ve'Eliyahu lamarim, asks the Gemara, is this true that Moshe Rabbeinu Eliyahu Hanavi didn't go lamarim? It says in Melachim Beis, V'yala Eliyahu b'sa'ara hashamayim, that Eliyahu went up to the Shamayim. Good pasuk. You see, I get back to the Christians for a second. I mean, they're learning Tanakh. If you're learning Tanakh, so Eliyahu went up to the Shamayim.
Yishmael are saying the same thing. Yishmael are saying the same thing.
Did I just say something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't say he came back.
No.
That's the big deal.
Went up on his horse.
Oh, but that makes a difference.
Went up on his horse.
Keeps going. Well, there's a second coming. Like, rising from the dead is a lot harder than just going up to Shemayim. So the Gemara says, "Vaksiva yal Eliyahu basara hashamayim." Lamata me'asar. He got to Shemayim, but he didn't get all the way to Shemayim. He still stayed lamata me'asar. Vaksiv, a hard pasuk in Iyov. Chavav ma'aches pnei kisei. Pershas olav parshes olav hananai. Ma'aches pnei kisei. It sounds like what? He holds on to the kisei. Rashi says that he covers up the kisei. I think the difference between ochaz and tafas in Hebrew is tafas is when you're holding something, ochaz is you're covering it. Ma'aches pnei kisei, parshes, and this Rashi says this word parshes, Rashi says, ein loy chaver b'mikra. Only one place is used. What does it mean? Hard to know. There's only one place in the Mikra. You know what I mean? But Parshes alav ananai. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu covers or holds on to the Kisei HaKavod, and Parshes alav ananai sounds like he spread something over it. That's what it sounds like. Even though that's paras, not parash. Amar Rabbi Tanchum, Melame sheparas Shaddai miziv shchinasai v'anonai alav. That Hashem spread miziv shchinasai from his shchina v'anonai alav. So that's a kasha. Rashi says, what does Reb Tanchum know this? Pirshu nutrikin. What it means is that what he was saying, he wasn't saying tight, he was saying parshes, this word parshes, shein lechaver b'mikra, parash ziv. What the Zion is for the Shekhinah. That was Rabbi Tanchum's limud. So anyways, we see that the Kisei HaKavod is covered by the Shechina. Va'anonai olav. So what's the kasha from there? You say, Chaim, what's the kasha?
The Shechina came down.
How do you see?
Because it's alav.
Hmm?
Alav.
Because it's a kisei. By the way, very interesting. I looked up the pasuk. That kisei, how do you spell kisei? Kaf samach aleph. Kisei in this pasuk spelled kaf samach hey, which means to cover. Kisei. It's a ksiv and kri.
Like sukkah.
Sukkah. Kisei. Chasas ahon and upper. Anyways, I don't know if the diuk is that he had to cover it so we don't see it, mashma that it's here, or the diuk is the Yarad Olav. I'm not sure what the diuk is. Rashi doesn't say. So the Gemara says, Lamata Mesar, that what we saw or what we were able to see and what had to be covered up is all Lamata Mesar. What's going on Shemayim, there's we don't have no concept. Mikol Mokim Ma'aches Pnei Kisei, see, but it says Ma'aches Pnei Kisei, that Hashem is covering up, let's call it covering up the Kisei. And Gemara says, Tishtarbu ve'yishtarbu like Kisei Adasar. So it means that whatever it means, the translation is that the Kisei HaKavod is Lamala Me'asar. But he lets some Tishtarbu ve'yishtarbu means it hangs. Some of it hangs Lamata Me'asara. And since some of it, let's say the feet of the kisei is lamata me'asar, that Hashem covered up. So that, again, all this to do. So what's the Gemara saying? That as high as we get, we're still lamata me'asar. You go up to the top of Har Sinai. Leo goes into Shemayim. The bottom of the kisei covered. Everything that we know about the Shemayim is not the Shemayim. Everything we know about the Shemayim is here, not here. It's Lamata Me'asar. Could be even where the Gemara says that Rabbi Shimon ben Levi went to Shemayim for a tour. Maybe it was also Lamata Me'asar. Like we don't know. Like the Gemara says. You remember the Gemara that says that there was a Gemara that somebody was talking to the Mason and to the Ruchos, and they told him the future. So this is like very close. I mean, the Gemara talks. It's like very shtei ruchos. This was very close to the earth. So there's certain access that we can have. Matan Torah is a good example. It's the highest access that we can have as a human being is Matan Torah, and all that still lamata me'asara, less than 10 tvachim. And a little bit further, it's until the end of the Gemara, where it says, Tani Rabbi Chanina, Kol HaKelim She'asa Moshe. Everything that Moshe Rabbeinu made, Nasna Behantara Midas Arkan, Midas Rachban, Midas Kemas. We know the height, the width, and the length of them. Kapiras, but when it came to the Kapiras, which was the Kapiras? The Kapiras was the cover of the Aron with the Kruvim on it. That's all called Kapiras. So how big are those, how high are those Kruvim supposed to go? So Kapiras, Midas Archa, Midas Rachban, Nasna, Midas Kaimasa loy nasna. So how do we know how much to make it? Say ulaman mi pachush shebekelim shnemer v'asisa loy miskeres toifach saviv v'alahalan tefach afkan tefach. So we learn from a different place that it must be a tefach. I don't know. In reality, according to the pictures, it was much more than a tefach. So the top was a tefach, but if you include the kruvim, they were way out there.
The kruvim, they say on the 10 tefachim.
Me'al hakaparis. So that has a shear. That's me'al hakaparis. The kaparis itself, we don't. The Gemara is pointing to the kaparis itself. Kaparis means to cover again. So we don't know how big it should be. So it should be a tefach.
Now, how much extra bad to make? Is that what you're asking?
Gold.
How much extra gold?
The gold. Okay.
Just where's the source of probably Muslim of that even Har Sinai was Lamalami Asar?
Right here. The Gemara. Mata me'asar tvach.
Yeah. Everything.
seems to say that, and it seems to say, and it seems to be significant. Now, of course, the Gemara is bringing this Agarata to tell you all the shiurim of Sukkah. So Sukkah, we spoke about for a couple minutes last time on Thursday, that Sukkah has all these shiurim of 10 Tvachim and 20 Amos, and all these Tvachim have to do with the Shechina. But let's not go to Sukkah right now. I just here in the Yun Yaakov, this is what we started learning. He explains what's all this Gemara, what's this all this talking about. Hainu, miyayim sha'olsa. What does it mean, miyayim sha'olsa? Since the Shechina went up, la yarda Shechina. In other words, the Gemara says la yarda Shechina Yisrael, and the Yun Yaakov says miyayim sha'olsa. From the time the Shechina left the world, it never came back down completely. So he adds these two important words, that it's not that the Shekhinah never came down to this world, it's that the Shekhinah didn't come down to this world since the time it left this world. So he's learning that at one time the Shekhinah was in this world. Because at the beginning of the Bria, this was the Shekhinah. Tachtoinim, in the world. Kidi Medrash Rabbah Breishis Yutes Al Pasuk Mishalech Began L'Ruach Hayoim. Mishalech Began. So Hoylech is different than all the words that we used before. Ola, Yarad. Mishalech means you're part of the earth. So there was a Metzias of Gan Eden, says the Medrash. There was a Metzias of the Shechina being Lamata Me'asar Tfachim. But Kivan Shechata Adam Arishain Nistalka HaShechina L'Ma'ala. But since Adam Arishan did a chet, again, we thought that the issue was, he brought Misa li'olam, he brought the Yitzhahar li'olam. No, I mean, that's all true. He pushed away the Shechina, everything else, happens. It's all a big fallout. Well, what happens when you turn off the lights? The Shechina goes lamala.
The earth was punished also.
Mishalach, yeah, the earth was punished also, exactly what you said. Chaytz v'dardar. Mishalach began the Ruach Hayom. Kiven shechata Adam Arishain. Once Adam Arishain was chata, nistalka Shechina lamala. Now the Shechina rose up from it became like from being Mishalach began to being above the Gan. Didn't leave completely, but it rose out of the Gan. Kach medakte kakra, and that's what the pasuk, the diktuk of the pasuk, ha'aretz nasan livnei Adam. What's the diktuk?
Distance.
No, he gave haaretz.
Because it was his just off. He was here. Giving up.
Right. It's mashma that there was an action. Haaretz nasan. There was a division. In other words, originally, just like the other divisions, originally the water was everywhere, and then Hakadosh Baruch Hu divided. Haaretz nasan livnei Adam was mashma. The whole world had the Shechina in it. And then va'aretz nasan livnei Adam. He gave the arts of Bnei Adam.
And it's supposed to Shemayim Shem Hashem should be va'aretz livnei Adam.
It would have been. That's what it would have been if it would have been like the original plan.
Yeah.
Aretz nasan livnei Adam. It's like it was like an afterthought almost. Mashen came b'mei Adam harishain. Haisa aretz gam kein la Hashem. V'had shuv la yarda. So why does it come back down already? Asks the Yun Yaakov. Mishum de Mailan b'kodesh vein marin. Okay, said this last time. Sounds like a Hasidic shot. The Mailan b'kodesh v'loy marin. Marin in this case, the chayr is a Mailan, no? Mailan b'kodesh v'loy marin is, you go up in Ruchnius, you don't go down in Ruchnius. If you're going to take a mitzvah on yourself, you don't go down in Ruchnias or Hanukkah candles. Mailan b'kodesh v'loy marin. You might light one more every day, right? We go like with Beis Hillel. But what's Mailan b'kodesh v'loy marin over here? What's the?
That's implied that the Shekhinah is getting more kodesh the more it does up.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm. How's that work?
Because we ruined the environment down here. We polluted the environment down here.
So come back down and fix it. What if we fix it? What's going to happen when Mashiach comes?
Once we fix
Are you guessing or
Also, everybody says that we were by Matan Torah, we were like Adam Rishon Adam Lechid.
Kodem Achet, Paska Zumasa.
Did you see it's not true?
Not true.
Because
Why
like
is-
Adam Harishon, but not like
Because the
the
shade doesn't
Adam.
come all the way down.
No, it will.
Paska Zumasan is a din in the Gavra. Yard of Shchina is a din in the Cheftza. The Paska Zumasan, we became of a Madrega.
And picks up the whole world.
Doesn't change the earth. It's still a Kaitz V'dardar. Even though Harsidite says the grass was growing, it was like nice, But nice is not nish. The Shchina, yeah.
So what does it mean, Of
You know,
Hashemayim?
Honolulu is nice too, but not the Shechina. That's
What does it mean, Of Hashemayim? If they're in the Shemayim, the birds.
right. It's different Shemayim.
Different
Rashi
Shemayim.
says there's Shemayim Lamata and Shemayim Lamal. So Mashiach we don't know yet so clearly about. Mishum the Mailin B'Kodesh Lemeridim Meksiv B'Chad Kra Shomayim Shemayim Lashem Kachar Shinasan L'Bnei Adam Lo'olu Lamala. There's another, and just like the Shechina doesn't come Lamata Me'asara, the Lamata Me'asara, meaning the holy ones of this world, Eliyahu Hanavi and Moshe Rabbeinu, etc., don't go Lamala Me'asara. Now, let me confuse this because this is way too simple. It just occurs to me this question. The Gemara says in Brachas Lamed Hey, the Gemara says the same pasuk, Hashemayim Shemayim Lashem V'Aretz Nasan Livnei Adam. So there the Gemara in Brachas asks a different question and says, what do you mean? It says, Mefurish Lashem Haaretz Umloya. So that's not, okay, it doesn't sound like Lashem Haaretz Umloya. It doesn't tell you necessarily that the Shechina can go up. That, in other words, that we can go up, but it does tell you that the Shechina can come down. In other words, Hashemayim Shemayim Lashem V'Aretz Nasan Livnei Adam. Now the Gemara sees this as a steer. It's not my kasha, it's the Gemara's kasha. It says Lashem Haaretz Umloya, God is everywhere. Or in Zoharic Lashon, Leis Hasar Panui Minei. So the Gemara is learning that means that the Shemayim comes down. Lashem Haaretz Umloya. So the Gemara answers, which helps us, it doesn't seem to help us any. Hashemayim Shemayim Lashem V'Aretz Nasan Livnei Adam. There's a divide between Shemayim and Aretz. It says Lashem Haaretz Umloya, kan koydem habracha, kan achar habracha. So you make a bracha, Borei Priya Eitz. So when you make a bracha, Borei Priya Eitz, now we can say Hashemayim Shemayim Lashem. Well, Aretz, now we can say Lashem Haaretz Umloya. Or do we say, so how you miyashim this Gemara? That's what they call it. I all of a sudden had a suffix as how to learn the Gemara.
Isn't that what we were saying?
In other words, Shemayim Lashem V'Aretz. What's the Gemara's kasha? Let's go back one. What's the Gemara's kasha? Shemayim Lashem V'Aretz Nasan Livnei Adam. I says Lashem Haaretz Umloya, which means that what? Hashem has nothing. That's how you're learning, right? Adam has nothing. Upside down today. Adam has nothing. So Adam has nothing. So why does it say V'Aretz Nasan Livnei Adam? And here's when you make a bracha, you get it. So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a bit serious.
No, I'm saying the Gemara in Sukkah, it sounds like, at least according to the Yun Yaakov, that the big idea would be that if the Shechina is mishalach b'toich hagan, that's a good thing. Then we did a chet, that was a bad thing. All the Shechina, and therefore Haaretz Nasan Livnei Adam. So it sounds negative.
Are you asking the question so that when we say a bracha and we get some of Aretz, so to speak, then we're taking that away from HaKadosh Baruch Hu?
Yeah, but I'm not. You're deeper than me. I'm just saying something very deep, simple. Gemara Sukkah, Gemara Brachas. The Gemara in Sukkah says that from the time learn the Gemara according to the Yun Yaakov, the Mabit, I think, by the way. Yun Yaakov is the Mabit. So the Gemara in Sukkah is mashma that really the best case scenario would be like Adam Arishan Koydem Achet, that Hashem is here. Haaretz Nasan Livnei Adam was what happened. It was what happened. It was a result of the chet of Adam Arishan. Shechina's here. Now there's the divide. Haaretz Nasan Livnei Adam. Shemayim Lashem. That seems like the divide. So it comes out that Haaretz Nasan Livnei Adam is negative. Now the Gemara in Brachas comes along and says, Lashem Haaretz Umloya. What about that? It means that Adam has no makom to be. Lashem Haaretz Umloya. Everything belongs to Hashem. So says the Gemara, you make a bracha. If you make a bracha, now we have a kiyum of ha'aretz nasan livnei adam. That's how you're learning, Chaim, right? And you have a kiyum of ha'aretz nasan livnei adam, and if you have a kiyum of ha'aretz nasan livnei adam, so now it's positive, Camden Levin. So in other words, we're trying to it's almost like we're trying to get the Shekhinah away from us. So I'm asking, my kasha is, I just want you to understand the kasha. I haven't found this kasha in any Rishonim, so maybe it's not a good kasha. But the kasha is the pasuk, v'ha'aretz nasan livnei adam, positive, or negative. For the Gemara in Sukkah, it's mashma that it's negative. For the Gemara in Brachas, it's mashma that it's positive. Oh, make a bracha and you solve the problem. What'd you solve? Ha'aretz nasan livnei adam means the Shekhinah is lamala.
Kam koydem bracha, kam lachar bracha is afuch. Ha'aretz nasan livnei adam is koydem bracha.
Maybe it's
Shama Shmuel is lachar bracha.
You're learning differently than Chaim.
Yes.
Yeah.
maybe it's because
So I also tried that on for size. That's why I said that maybe the Gemara, don't occasionally, maybe the Gemara reads the opposite way around. That's one.
Also, gewoon psukim, believer gaan mahal,
What?
Psukim, somebody neinemi olam believer gaan moel.
In brachos. Same bracha.
But so there's like, so if you take it in fall bracha, it's a meal.
Meaning it's not yours.
It's not
So,
yours.
so it's like Chaim's learning, not like.
maybe it's
Right,
because
so right, Gemara right here. The Gemara says two lashonos. Gemara says kol anena min olam hazeh b'loi bracha ki ilu moal. Ika de amri kol anena min olam hazeh b'loi bracha ki ilu gazal.
Ha'aretz nasan livnei adam is to either be moil in it or be mavir.
maybe it's because we're good Salam Elokim.
All of them, the other, Martin and Sarah. And now I'm saying when you say bracha, it does come down. Either way, you have to stay that way.
Can't wait for that.
Chaim, you see your limud is a stira. You agree with me?
I think both ways it's there.
Why?
Because when you finish Pshat, one Gemara says the olam lo yardim l'matim esara. Now we're saying whenever you say bracha, it does come down below asara.
I do four or after.
No, it's the same thing with Loa Summer.
Does it come
Same
down?
pasuk. Shemaim l'shem ha'aretz nasan livnei adam. The Gemara is darshan the same pasuk. So the Gemara is learning that ha'aretz nasan livnei adam means lamata me'asar. Shemaim l'shem means lamala me'asar. Now what happens when you make a bracha? You're bringing the Shechina lamata me'asara. Is that what you're doing? Or no, it's lamata me'asara, and it's ha'aretz nasan livnei adam. Like you're saying, Pashat Pshat in the Gemara. So if that's Pashat Pshat in the Gemara, so it means ha'aretz nasan livnei adam allows us to eat. Without that, we're goizel. Here, let me read you the Gemara. I have it. Amar of Yehuda, Amar Shmos, brachas lamed hey. It's Gemara himself. Amar of Yehuda, Amar Shmuel. Kol anena min ha'olam hazeh b'loi bracha ki ilu nehene mikodshe shamayim. That's the lashon. Ki ilu nehene mikodshe shamayim. Shenemar la Hashem ha'aretz umloya. So if you don't make a bracha, you eat the apple without a bracha, you're nehene mikodshe shamayim. You didn't catch it. It doesn't belong to you. Mefurish kidvarach. Mefurish, right? It doesn't belong to you. What are you eating for? So you need ha'aretz nasan livnei adam is the matter to eat the kudshim. Shneimar la'Hashem ha'aretz umloya. So just from la'Hashem ha'aretz umloya, not allowed to eat anything. Rebbe Levi, and now I made a bracha. So kol anena min olam hazeh b'loi bracha ki ilu nehene mikodshe shamayim. Somehow or another, now that we know that the Brisa tells us that when you make a bracha, we have a kiyum of la'Hashem ha'aretz umloya. I don't think there's any other way to learn Shah. That la'Hashem ha'aretz umloya. So now I can eat. So Baruch Hashem, the Shechina was Olam Yisrael. It was Rebbe Levi. While we're here, Rebbe Levi. Rebbe Levi, Rami Ksiv, La'Hashem ha'aretz umloya, Ksiv ha'shamayim shamayim La'Hashem. How does that work? Again, the Gemara says, Amar Rabbi Chanina bar Papa. Before we talk about Amar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Shmuel. Amar Reb Chanina bar Papa kol anena min olam hazeh b'lei bracha ki ilu goizel la'kadosh baruch hu u'knesses Yisrael. Now, Knesses Yisrael, we've learned many times, means the Shekhinah. Knesses Yisrael doesn't mean Klal Yisrael. Knesses Yisrael means the Shekhinah. So anybody who eats without a bracha, goizel la'kadosh baruch hu Knesses Yisrael.
Is the Gemara in Sukkah saying that every time someone makes a bracha, he's being masalik the Shekhinah? It says that the Shekhinah was already removed.
You're making a kasha bigger, you mean?
I mean, it says to put two different things.
What does La Hashem Haaretzim Lo Yamim? If the Shekhinah was removed. The Gemara could have said a very simple answer. It's a steer in the pas psukim, La Hashem Haaretzim Lo Ya, Haaretz Nasan Libnei Adam, the Haaretz is, Kan Koydem Achet Kama, Kan Acher Echet. La Hashem Haaretzim Lo Ya means, so the mashma that the Gemara understood, La Hashem Haaretzim Lo Ya is forever. So if La Hashem Haaretzim Lo Ya is forever, so what does it mean? Haaretz Nasan Libnei Adam. So everything belongs to Hashem or everything doesn't belong to Hashem.
It's the Shekhinah Ilah, Shekhinah Tatzah.
Okay.
So here's where the Shekhinah comes in. It's Chappy Hashem and Chappy Adam.
I'm having a problem here because I don't think Ein Yaakov is quoting the whole Gemara. Is there a regular shas here? You see one?
Which one second?
Brachos. Bear with me for a moment. I'm reading from the Ein Yaakov, I think. Different gears here. Oh, see here it said in the Ein Yaakov, cuts to the chase. Amar Reb Chanina bar Papa kol anena min olam hazeh b'lei bracha ki hu goizel la'kadosh baruch hu Knesses Yisrael. In the Gemara it says, Asher le'ladam she'ena min olam hazeh b'lei bracha v'chol anena min olam hazeh b'lei bracha ma'al. My takante yelech etzel chacham. Yelech etzel chacham. My avidlei. We're going to go. Avidlei surah. Elam Rabbi yelech etzel chacham mikaru lamdena brachos kadesh lo yaveh l'dei meila. Now the Gemara says, in other words, learn your hilchos brachos. The Gemara is saying, so you shouldn't be moil. Why you're moil? What does meila mean? Meila means that you're taking hektish, which is kodesh, and you're eating it. So make sure you learn hilchos brachos, because if you don't know hilchos brachos, then what's going to happen is you're going to be moel in the Shekhinah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu every time you eat. Wow. That's a Gemara to concentrate on. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel, says the Gemara, Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel, until now we were talking about a brisa. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel, Kol Nena Min Olam Hazeh B'lei Bracha, Ki Ilu Nena Mi Kodshei Shemayim. It's like your Nena from Kodshei Shemayim. So let me just, while we're here, you say the Ein Yaakov didn't bring the part about Me'ilah. But the Brisa doesn't say, Kol Anena Min Olam Hazeh B'lei Bracha, Ki Ilu Nena Mi Kodshei Shemayim. Follow me here. What the Brisa says is Kilu Ma'al. And that's a Brisa. So it comes to Rav Yehuda bar Shmuel, Amar Shmuel, it says, Kol Anena Min Olam Hazeh B'lei Bracha, Ki Ilu Nena Mi Kodshei Shemayim. He's Nena Mi Kodshei Shemayim.
The same thing?
So I ask you, you just said that, right? What's the Iboisiv? Here's the Tanoim say, Ki Lumah. And he adds, Ki Lunana Mikotche Shemayim. What then is Kmal if not Nana Mikotche Shemayim? There's no, I want to tell you, Zaki Lumal, it's Ki Lunana Mikotche Shemayim. Nana Mikotche Shemayim is Me'ilah.
Isn't Me'ilah like a damage in the Kiddush, whereas Nana...
Well, you ate it.
But in the Kiddush itself.
Oh, you mean you don't have to have any Hana?
Yeah.
No, you could even be shocked in that.
He's been Pagaya in the Kiddush that was in there. So I didn't know.
Baki B'Shasi.
You could use it as a counterweight, it's also...
That's not...
Right, but that's the whole thing, because that's why it's Pagaya in the Kiddush. You don't have to do anything physical to it. Like
You're too quick for me. Let's get the kasha quick first. the kasha I said the Gemara. Kasha 2. One kasha is a stira from the Gemara in Sukkah to the Gemara in here. I still think it's a stira, but needs a yishuv. But the other thing, stop. What's the Gemara being moisef over here? Gemara says that it's moel. It's already a brisa. You're moel. It comes in Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel. Kol hanena min olam hazeh b'lei bracha ki ilu nena b'kodshei shemayim. He repeats it and says it in different words. We know what Mila is. We're not comes Yoni and he says, well, Me'ila is lav dafka when you're nana. Okay, but we're talking about a case where he's nana. We're talking about he ate without a bracha. So, is that Mila?
So there's two, maybe there's
No,
two.
you're saying it would even be Mila if it didn't eat
Right.
Seder. But I mean, in the meantime, he ate. We're talking about a guy that ate. That's the
Because
case.
maybe the thing is that when you eat, you're doing two things. You're pogam the kedusha that's already intrinsically
Oh.
in the thing, and you also know which
Oh.
is
That's to the alam. Okay. In other words, like, it seems to me, learning the Gemara, that there's two aspects here. Here's some hektish. Here's some hektish, right? Make something hektish. I go and I drink the hektish. There's two things going on over here. One thing over here is that I took hektish and I was mechalel the kedusha. I lowered the level of kedusha of that hektish. The second thing that's going on over here is I was over Me'ila. One's in the Gavra, one's in the Chefza. What's my Avera? I was Moel. A person's not allowed to be Moel. Another problem is there's less hektish here. Here's something hektish, and the hektish had a chilul. Usually the nafkamina between these kind of things, if it's my avera or the thing is being hurt, there's many cases like that, right? I mean, if you went to yeshivas, everything, the whole shas is divided up between gavra and chefza. But what's the nafkamina? That if it's the chefza is the issue, like I have to watch this chefza, so then you could do it even ayidei shliach, and it's aser. Like the chefza is being rude. Groma, aser. If the issue is that I'm not allowed to do it, so I'm not allowed to do it. That's all. You know, like in other words, if I'm not allowed to do it, like it doesn't. Meila requires a maisa, my maisa. But that's. I give you a mashal and halacha with this one, and then we'll go back. Hashem, we can finally get to the Omek of the Gemara. But it's I think important dvarim that we're hitting along the way over here. But there's a halach in Shulchan Aruch that that you're not allowed to make a bracha on something treif. Right? Brachas, hilchos brachas. So let's say I can't overcome my yetzer hara for bacon and eggs this morning. So you don't make a bracha on it because the Gemara says that your bracha is a toeva. What are you joking around here? You're going connected the Ratzon Hashem. You're giving Hashem a bracha. You're making a bracha to Hashem. It's a stira b'nei obey, and so and since it's a stira b'nei obey, so the Shem Hashem becomes bracha levatala. Right? It becomes bracha levatala. So you don't make a bracha rishayna, and you don't make a bracha achrayna on something which is bechefza treif. Bechefza treif, meaning, let's say you don't eat rabbanut, so you decide you're going to eat rabbanut. You make a bracha. You make a bracha because that's right. I'm talking about something b'chefza treif, pig. So if you eat some pig or basar b'cholov, even a taruv is a basar b'cholov, which is a bushel. Let's say this is deraisa, so you might make a bracha rishayna and a bracha achrayna. So maybe the omek of that is, now that I'm thinking about it, that what are you doing when you're making a bracha? You're taking away the Lashem Arisum Loyev. You're saying Varis Nasalim Neoto. But what are you doing here? Like, in other words, you can't make a bracha on such a thing. It's a toeva. It's a bracha levatala. This is not in your rishos. Anyways, the shaila is like this. Here's a shaila. I think the Avnei Nezer asked this question. Let's say you eat without a bracha. Cholent. Challah, kosher. You eat without a bracha. Now, you say, I've got to better myself. I've got to start making brachas, doing things properly, become a Baal Tshuva in the middle of the meal. So the Avnei Nezer wonders, do you make a bracha achrayna now? Because since you ate without a bracha, so now Kili, you're eating treif. Okay? So I hate sometimes it's by cholos leisuris. In a deeper way, you have no reshut. Gozel. What's lashon? Okay, I ate hektish. Or I was moel. The lashon here, the Yaakov is gozel, Kodesh Baruch Hu. Well, what if you steal something? Do you make a bracha or not? Okay, that's a mitzvah b'avera, maybe. That's a different. But stop. You steal a roll and you eat it. So.
That wasn't something that they want, wasn't it? That wasn't the case given in the Gemara of the Bar stolen?
That's the case. Botzei Baruch Mi'etz Hashem. But let's stick to our case. You don't make a bracha rishona, b'mezid, and now you want to know, can I make a bracha achrona? And if not, what should I do? Treif to tshuva. So it depends what happens when you don't make a bracha rishona. If you say the pshat is that I'm moyel, I did me'ilah, so I did an aver, I didn't affect the food. If you say that, like the gears of the Gemara is kilo achal mekotche shemayim, it means without a bracha, this is hektish, this is bechefza aser. In other words, the nafkamina between the two memros of whether it's a din in the gaver or a din in the chefza is l'dati, is that if you say that I'm moyel, but the Avnei Nezer doesn't say something. If you say that there's me'ilah, so it's me'ilah, so I did an aver, but it doesn't mean that I'm eating chazer, I did an aver. But if you're saying it's stronger, I'm Rav Yehuda, I'm Rav, I'm Shmuel. I'm Rav Yehuda, I'm Shmuel. If you're saying like Shmuel saying that ki'ilu nena mikadshe shemayim, so but he's being moisef a big thing over here. This is a chefza shalisser until you eat it, until you make a bracha on it. It's a chefza shalisser. So if it's a chefza shalisser, so I didn't make a bracha, and I'm finished eating it, so I don't have an eitzah now to make a bracha, so you can't make a bracha acharna either. So it could be the two lashonos of the Gemara are poshet the suffix of the Avnei Nezer. Take it or leave it. I'm just telling you a story. It could be. So, but what we need to bring together over here. We have time between now and Thursday. Just look at the Gemara, just see inside. But what we have to understand is the stira between the Gemara and Sukkah and the Gemara and Brachas. Clearly, what the nafkamin is and what actually happens. What I'm really after is what actually happens when I make a bracha. That's one thing. And what does it mean when I'm making a bracha? Does that mean that I'm bringing the Shechina? What does that mean? I'm pushing the Shechina up or I'm bringing the Shechina down? What am I doing? If I'm making a bracha, I'm doing a kiyum. Again, I'm just saying this here again. If I'm making a bracha, I'm doing a kiyum of Aretz Nasan Livnei Adam. The Hainu, you have rishus to use this world. Whereas if you learn the Gemara in Sukkah, Aretz Nasan Livnei Adam is the Shechina. It was a bad thing because we did the chet. So is it positive or is it negative, or is it somehow both? And that's where we need to get it. Is it somehow both?
Where was the Gemara?
Well,
Gemara in Sukkah,
of Hey Yom Hey Yom
Elijah's original term.